So let's take a few minutes and talk about CBD, as this has become maybe the most popular nutritional product or supplement on the market over the past few years. When CBD first hit the scene with what I do in muscle testing, I was very surprised to find that, patient after patient would bring me some form of CBD product in, and I never found any that really tested well. For me, the ultimate barometer of something being good or bad is a simple muscle test. So I heard all of these wonderful things about CBD, but every time I would test somebody on it, it would give me a bad response. So it caused me to do a little bit of digging and research to better understand CBD. I wanted to bring it to my patients because of all the good that I heard, but we had to find the right quality source. I went through, give or take, 3 different wholesalers before I finally settled on what I use right now. And that was because I would find, one product would test, one wouldn't, one would be semi-good, some would, it was just a lot of confusion. So finally I found somebody who could really break down, for me, the understanding of CBD. So one of the most simple messages I could teach to you guys is CBD is no different than any other product on the market in that it's not always as advertised. So a lot of companies will take CBD, they'll cut it down, they'll cut its potency down by adding more fillers such as coconut oil, so it doesn't look like a toxic product, but it's not quite as potent. Then from there, it's where was the CBD grown? Where was the hemp grown? Was it used with pesticides or herbicides? What was the quality of the hemp? So there was just a lot of factors that went into it. And I finally found a wholesale that I was very comfortable putting my name on, and that was when we launched Synergy Nutrition and Wellness's CBD products. But these products come from FDA approved, GMP certified facilities. They are in fact part of what's called the industrial hemp umbrella, meaning anybody selling CBD, if they're not getting it from a source that is industrial hemp, that is actually not monitored or qualitative, if you will. So we've got all these right things that meet our standards, as well as finding it to be totally and beautifully testable amongst our patients. Now, inside of CBD, there's a whole nother subcategory that we need to be made aware of. You're gonna find CBD that comes in full spectrum, broad spectrum, and isolates. And there's differences about all 3 of these things. The full spectrum is the only CBD that contains any THC. So predominantly CBD is in the hemp plant and the marijuana plant. The marijuana plant produces more THC and very minimal CBD. That's not what we do in our office. We carry CBD from hemp. Hemp is predominantly CBD, low THC. So full spectrum will contain the legal limit per the government with 0.3% THC. So full spectrum will go all over the body to a wide variety of cannabinoids, but does have a little bit of THC in it. This works really well for some people. It doesn't work at all for other people. But then if we have the person who says, well, Jimmy, I have a job that I can't ever have CBD, or I can't ever have THC, or even though you've never had a failed drug test or any issues with it, I just am not comfortable with THC. Totally understood. Now enters the other 2 sides of CBD, one which is broad spectrum and another which is isolates. Your broad spectrum and your isolates will contain no THC, so they have been purified to where you have no THC in them. Your broad spectrum is a lot like the full spectrum in that it will address multiple cannabinoids throughout the body, whereas your isolates are just that. They're isolating specific cannabinoids to whichever receptor of issue or ailment that you have. So for example, I have a product called CBD Happy. This is gonna have a little bit more of neurotransmitter uptake. It's gonna have a little bit more gut support. It's gonna have more of uplifting minerals as well as CBD cannabinoids to target those uplifting cannabinoid receptors. We have another product called Cbd Muscle and Joint. This one is gonna be an isolate to target more of pain and inflammation. We have another one called CBD Diabalance. This one is gonna work really well for helping reduce any kind of blood sugar instabilities. So we've got all of these things in our pipeline, but one of the things that we have that would separate us from any other CBD company or carrier is that we muscle test. So for us, there's no guessing. It's not, well, hey, I have a pain in my knee. Should I get this muscle and joint? Maybe the broad spectrum works better. Maybe the full spectrum works better. So we have a very unique ability to muscle test our high quality CBD products to deliver the best one and effective one for you.